first, man, appreciate you for taking the time to even
Not a
do the interview, man.
not a problem.
It's great. I really wanted to talk to you, man, especially now because like there's this new boxing game that's coming out, eSports Boxing Club.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that you were in Fight Night Champion. Matter of fact, you did a couple of the Fight Night games.
Oh yeah,
Um,
champion and round four.
yeah. So before we even get to that, um, I kind of want to talk to you about your career a little bit. That way,
Okay.
anybody who see this, especially because we're gonna be the video is gonna be seen by some new gamers, some younger heads, stuff like that. Um,
Yeah.
that way they get to know who Fast Eddie Chambers is. And
Okay.
obviously, you had a pretty successful career. You fought at some top level, dude. People like Povetkin, Klitschko. What was it like to be in the ring and fight at that magnitude?
Honestly, man, it was always scary. Nah, it was actually surreal in a lot of ways, man. When I was like, I had my first HBO fight, which was with Alexander Povetkin, and just being on a station that you came up watching, seeing all these great fighters and all of that, it was just like, wow, this is crazy. I'm actually on this card. I'm actually and fighting for decent money in another country. It was nerve wracking, no doubt about it. I was nervous as I could possibly be at that point, but I had done it so many times in the past. It was just like, once you get in there, it'll be just like another day. But it was a hell of a thing to see it with Povetkin, and then with the Klitschko fight. I mean, I've never seen that many people in one place before.
Wow.
It was like what 50. It was 50,000 plus. It was 55,000 plus maybe. There wasn't an empty seat in the place. It was a free. It was the eSphere arena in Dusseldorf, Germany. And like I said, there wasn't a free seat nowhere. You know what I mean? So when I came up the steps to walk down, to walk down the aisle for the fight, it was a sea of people. It was like an endless sea of people, like just everywhere. And of course, most of them was there for Vladimir. So
Oh, no doubt.
you know what I mean? But it was just incredible. Me and my brother were walking up the steps, and I remember looking to him and saying, like, yo, this is crazy. He's like, man, don't worry about this, man. This ain't nothing, man. And I'm like, no, I ain't nervous. It ain't really about the nervousness. It's just amazing to be in this position. We talked about this for a long time, and then all of a sudden I have the opportunity to turn it into something great. Didn't happen, it didn't happen then, but it was just an opportunity to have it. I mean, it was great. It was a surreal thing. I was nervous as can be, but once I got in there, it was just like, it got to be difficult after a while, but it was still just, business as usual, but it just felt weird. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? It's just being in front of that many people and having that much go on around you. And though I would say 98% of the people, maybe 99% of the people there was for him, supporting him, it was still felt like, awesome thing to be involved in it and have people there for me too.
Yeah, it's got to be wild, man, to walk in there, basically enemy territory, and find a way to block all that out and say I still got to get in here and handle business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember when you fought Povetkin. I think it was the
Yeah.
second round.
Yeah.
You hit him with a double jab straight right, and I was thinking to myself, yo, he might knock this man out like early.
And I was hoping. I was hoping. And the funny thing is, if I would have got through that fight, then would have fought Vladimir next. It would have been an even bigger fight because there was no one on my record versus because the O, everybody knows how important the O is.
Oh, no doubt.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, when you think about it, that would have been a bigger situation. But I felt like I was better prepared for it in the second fight. I mean, at the second time around, when I got to Dimitrenko as opposed to Povetkin, I think I was better prepared. Just all around better prepared, physically, mentally. But at the same time, I think there was a lack of information on our side. The professionalism was good on our part, but it wasn't enough. They had everything planned out, and they knew, they knew how to handle business. I mean, they'd done it so many times. You know, he had Emmanuel Stewart in his corner. You know, my future trainer, Bashir, James Ali Bashir in his corner. His brother, the whole KMG and K2 promotion. It was just, I was fighting an uphill battle on ice skates, man. It was just going to be tough.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? Straight up. It was hard, but it could have been done. It's just, I needed a little bit more than what I had at that moment. You know what I mean? A little more information, a little bit better if I could have had it, preparation to really know what I was facing, you know, come that March 20th. So
yeah, that's understandable, man. And you mentioned handling business, man, and I kind of want to segue a little bit into your time working with EA and Fight Night. So like you mentioned before, you did Fight Night, you did 4 and Champion.
Yeah.
So what was that like? One of the things that we don't really get to hear about talking about video games, current video games, is like the contractual side of things, that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like working with EA and getting the contract thing together in order to them to get your likeness into the game?
Honestly, for me, it was painless because I was so into, you know, I'm a gamer anyway, you know what I mean? And I had played, you know, other EA titles in the past, you know, from Knockout Kings all the way to Fight Night when it started. But it really wasn't much, honestly. You know, they sent the contract out to my people, and you know, they were paying. You know, it wasn't a whole lot of money or nothing like that. But I wasn't expecting it to be a whole lot of money, nor did I really care about the money at all. At that time, I was doing fine. You know what I mean? Fights were coming in. I had just beat Samuel Peter, so I was excited just about the opportunity to be in the game. And you know, they sent over the money, they sent over everything. We took the pictures, and that's why the first one I was kind of fat, extra fat. You know what I'm saying? For my liking, anyway, for sure. And then even in the second one, they didn't really take any more pictures, and I was kind of like, damn, I wanted to send pictures this time because I was much better prepared physically. But it just, you know, it was once again another surreal moment. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I'm about to be on a game, bro. Like you know, like I said, me and my brother was there the whole, you know, with me basically all the way. We was just talking like about how crazy it is to be in this position. Now, you know, when you're a kid and especially when we were fighting in the amateurs, talking about, you know, we were from Pittsburgh, and you know, it's not exactly a hotbed for talent. I mean, there's guys that are really talented there, but it's not many in most leagues, including myself, to really turn it over. So we were talking like, you know, seeing different names in the amateur boxing books. This is back when they were doing that a lot. And, you know, it was crazy to talk about this guy and that guy. And then I'm coming up fighting these guys, beating these guys, and, you know, and the pros. And it's like it's crazy. And then, you know, now I'm about to literally be in a video game that I played for years. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. It
was incredible, man. I can't describe. That was one of the biggest, at the time, and even still, one of the most crowning achievements I've had. I know it sounds ridiculous, but when you're a gamer, yo, that's crazy. Like, you know, it's like I want to be in a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I think with this new game coming out, people are asking something. I talked to Jamel Herring, asked him the same thing. It's like you almost immortalized yourself, basically. You've immortalized yourself in history, man, by being in. And I know it, like you said, it sounds small, but it's like you are in a video game forever. You know, like your kids are potentially going to be utilizing you in the game. You know.
Yep.
But
amazing, man.
And it's wild, man. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but there are forums out there dating back to 2011, 2009, dedicated to you and how they are ducking Eddie Chambers in champion mode because
like, man, I hate that dude. Who the hell is he? Hey, listen, I love it. I'll be the villain in that. You know what I mean? I'll be the villain.
Dude, people was having a tough time with Eddie Chambers.
How you get 100 speed? Like, or 99 speed? Yo, he ain't like that. I ain't never heard of him. I like that, though. I'd be pissed off, too. I'd be like, who the hell is this bum? You know what I mean? Knocking me out or beating me up, winning the decision all the time.
So look,
That's exactly what they were saying to me in real life.
ah, so
I was.
look, ESBC, right? Esports Boxing Club. Now,
Mhm.
you already know, man, like the internet sleuths is out there, the internet detectives is out there. They all know that Steel City is following you on Twitter. All right? They know they
Yeah,
follow you. Um, and
yeah.
and 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 honestly, man, a lot of the fighters that they follow, they've either talked to them about being in the game or they are already in the game. Has Steel City contacted you about being in Esports Boxing Club?
A guy contacted me and asked me, did I want to involve myself in a game? And I would say absolutely. I mean, once again, there was no pay for me at that time. They said it was, oh man, it was too late for them. You know, the budget was over and blah blah blah. And whether it was true or not, I didn't really care. The opportunity to just have my likeness in it. And I know I may be shooting myself in the foot, but earning some paper with Steel City. But the reality of it is, man, I love this type of thing. I don't care if I didn't get paid to do it. If I could get my likeness in the game, that's what I'll do. You can put it on DLC, whatever you need. I don't care. I just want to be in the shit. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, I ain't good, Chris.
No, you good. You good.
But,
you good. I'm with the passion, dog.
I'm just no, but it's just like, like I said, man, we talked about champion and round 2 and all that, and just I played, and honestly, because I was a little bit younger, I had more time. I think when well, actually, that's not necessarily true either, but I'm all offensive time playing this game all the time too, so the time between those was more rough at points, but getting the opportunity to be in this, all they gotta do is call me, email me, text me. I don't really care how you get in contact. Just let me know, and I'm willing. I'm definitely willing.
Yeah, it broke up. It broke up just a little bit in there. But,
oh, sorry.
Yeah. We caught it we got it for the most part. All Steel City need to do is give Eddie Chambers a holler, basically.
Email. I just want to be involved. That's all. I mean, first of all, as much as I hate looking at my face sometimes, I wouldn't mind seeing it on the video game with those kind of graphics at this, especially in the next generation. Like, we missed a whole generation of boxing games.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So now we in a whole nother level of where the graphical and just different things, and as far as performance too. So imagine me having my style, if I can actually get a way to get it replicated in the game. It would just be so fun to actually play with that. Like, it would just be awesome to do. And I'm excited about it. Even if I wasn't involved in it, I'm going to buy it. But me being involved in it would be just take that up a notch. We'll take it up a couple notches, to be honest. And I'm just looking if they can contact me or at some point, even like I said, if it was DLC, believe me, I'm going to get that package, because I'm definitely open and I'm trying to get myself on the game. And I know that sounds like, I don't know. I think anybody would feel that way, especially if they're a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that 100%. I mean, the only fighter that I've actually heard so far who has turned that down is Devin Haney. Is Devin Haney, and I'm sure he's got his reasons. His reasons for it. But I've talked to. I couldn't tell you, man. I talked to Dean Sheriff though, who was the co-chairman of Empire Pro Tape. He said, "Look, this is a once in a time type of deal, and it's like it's a once in a lifetime thing. Everybody's gonna want to be involved, and the thing is, I can hear the hype in your voice."
Yeah, it's like when you think about it, right? You have a chance to, and there's this roster is crazy. I've never seen a roster in a video game with fighters ever like this. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like it's hard to even believe that they can get that much onto the game. But with all of these different guys to use, these different styles. I like what they did with the motion capture, with the and it's even then it's still physics based, which is awesome too. But it's like the motion capture with the movement. Like I was looking at the movement trailer, I'm like, I ain't never seen movement like that in a boxing game. You know what I mean? Hey, all I want to see, if I see somebody pivot and then drop a left hook down the middle, yo, I'll be forever like, yo, this is crazy. I don't know if they get any better than that, but I mean that's gonna be tough to do. But just what they already have, I'm happy. I seen check hooks and spinning off that shoulder, like I mean off that, yo, and I'm telling you, and I'm talking like, you know, strategic a little bit, certain special shots and all that. But they do have some of that in the game, which was crazy. And I was like, damn, and it looks like legit. It doesn't look like bullcrap, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, talk that technical talk, man. Like, there are people out here who are comparing it. We have compared it to real world fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the fans need to hear that type of stuff right now. Just how technically sound the game is and how close to reality it is. It's a sim boxing game.
And this is the first, like, trust me, Fight Night Champion and other games, like, you know, let's say Fight Night. Let's just use Fight Night because Fight Night is, you know, a step above all the rest of them, right? Where those are supposed to be simulations. And don't get me wrong, for the time, it was. Like, you was expecting, like, you couldn't expect much more. But when you look at this is simulation. And they talk about even taking it a step further and like making it to where like they got a simulation type, like for the hardcore fans or whatever, for the hardcore fight people, they're gonna have like a simulation situation where you literally have to fight based on, you know, like how you would how a real fight would take place. Like if you're me, you wouldn't go in there and just throw 150 punches around trying to knock your guy out, right? So you're going to go in there tactical. You're going to look for openings. You got to take your time. You're not going to throw much more than 50 punches around or so. That's sometimes is a decent amount, especially for heavyweight. But to think that they would have that involved in the game, but then also have the arcadish version too, which a lot of people would like to pick up. But it's just, it's great. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on with this game that I'm liking, seriously.
Yeah, man. When I was talking to Coach Anthony a couple of weeks ago, man, he was talking about, you know, the incorporation of like coaches and stuff like that into it. And he had some ideas for it. All right. If you had one thing that you could put in the game, what would it be?
I could put in the game. I would just like full customization in a lot of ways too. And what I mean by full customization is like literally being able to even if you wanted to do an arena, you know what I'm saying? A gym, like having the trainer thing was something I thought about too. But then this would be real dope. And I think somebody posted this, I think, on a comment to have your own belt, like your own championship level belt, like if you know, like be like a WBC, IBF or whatever, have your own version of a title, something you created. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like for me, it's like the career mode thing too would be, I guess. I don't know. I think they got promoters and stuff like that too in the game. Promoters, management.
Yep.
Man, they're hitting on a lot of things that I actually was asking for in the past, bro. So I can't even, honestly, the whole belt thing, I like that idea. I like the belt. I like having the belt and being in full customization on a lot of stuff that maybe we wouldn't have been able to do before. Like, if you look at different games, like, say when you create your own team, say in 2K or whatever, even though sometimes it's kind of bare bones, you can create your arena, you can do this, you can do that. It's just I kind of like that idea, as well as the coaches too, which they are doing. like in the belt. That's all I can really think of. I'll probably be sitting around later and thinking about some shit that it'll come to mind. Now I'm not on camera. Now I can, you know what I mean? Now I can think of everything. But
so like
having this is great.
So when you did fight night, did they actually take like advice from the fighters? Like, did they ask for y'all's input into the actual game itself?
Honestly, I didn't. They never asked me a thing, and I always wondered, like, do you remember? I don't know how old you are. You don't look that old. So
deceiving. It's deceiving.
It might be. But do you remember the first fight night? I mean, the first knockout game.
Yeah.
All right. You remember the first knockout?
Yep.
They had Oscar De La Hoya, Ray Leonard, all of these great technical fighters in the studio doing mocap and all that. It was as good as any of the fight nights or the campaign. That was the very first one. We talk about on PlayStation 1, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably look like some box figures fighting each other compared to what they have now. but at least those box figures would be throwing punches correctly. You know what I mean? And I think that's where I don't know what they've done with mocap. I don't know who they had in. I don't know what their ideas were, especially with the punches in reference to you know how they looked, who they had throwing them in the past ones, like with the fight night, fight night and knockout games. But it kind of, to me, with the exception of, I think the first fight night was pretty good when they first had the ragdoll physics for the knockdowns and all that. And I think, what's the other? Round 3, I think. Round 3 was all right too. But I still felt like the punches still had never really got back to being technically sound like they were in the first, in my opinion. That's my opinion. The punches were okay, but I felt like the first one was really, really a good replica of what boxing looks like. You know what I mean? In an actual professional fight situation. That's my opinion. Obviously, the clinching and all of that stuff, and the way the punches landed, you didn't really, you got a little bit, but not a lot with it. But it's still, I felt like they were right. So I feel like that is something that's near and dear to my heart. Technically sound, nice combinations, and even single shots. Not necessarily got to be perfect all the time. And everybody throws punches different. So the fact that they're doing, like mocap with all these different guys is great. And I'm just like, I'm impressed with what they're doing. I just hope that the punches and all of that that are going to be in the game, and when the final product is put out, is going to be what we consider top level, boxing, because that's what professional boxing is top level boxing.
Man, see, like conversations like this get me hyped up, yo. Because
me too, bro. Dude, me too.
This is the stuff we be talking about all the time, and it's like we know. Look, in the gaming world, just like in boxing, man, fans can be fickle, right? And it's like they're hard to please. They're extremely hard to please, and to know that in the first Knockout Kings, that they had people like Oscar and stuff like that coming in there doing mocap. You can only imagine what it is that they're going to be doing now, with all the time that we've had. Like people talk about
so
the punches and.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much that has changed, man. And Eddie, man, like, dog, this interview couldn't have been any better.
Hey, listen, I love this. When you said about the eSports, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Even before, like, you talking about my career and all, like, yeah, there's things obviously I'm proud of, that I've done. There's a lot more I could have done. I felt like I achieved a decent amount, but I felt like I underachieved, in my opinion, with the amount of ability that I had. I felt like, a lot of my mental affected some of the outcomes of some of the fights I've had a little more than it should have. Probably a lot more than it should have. So those things are cool. So when you bring up the game, I'm like, hell yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that on the way. I'll talk about my career, but I want to talk about this game, bro.
Hey, man, look, this is exactly what I was looking for. You had a different perspective, man, because again,
Yeah.
being a professional fighter, gamer, being in Fight Night, having worked with EA, and
Right.
now with this new game coming out, man, you've been able to be a part of the transition, but actually see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah.
your perspective was necessary. I felt like it was absolutely necessary, man. I'm not gonna take up any more of your time because look, I will ramble and I will keep talking, dog. Like I will keep going.
Me too. Me too. Trust me.
So
Me
look,
too.
man.
I'm one of those dudes. Trust me.
Last question: where can everybody find you, man, online?
Oh man, I got the Twitter at I want to say at Fast Eddie Chambers on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, or is it Champ Fast Eddie? I don't have two different ones I put up there, so it's one of those. Fast Eddie Chambers on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but my TikTok is kind of whack because I don't even post. I ain't post nothing. I'm not this super internet. I'm not saying I'm not internet savvy. Like I don't know what to do. It's just that I don't really fool on it too much. You know what I'm saying? Like because I'm so busy, man. I'm training folks now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to do so many different things at once, man, and it's tough. But if people contact me, they'll get. And I'm also on Facebook. Sorry,
Yeah.
Facebook too, at Fast Eddie Chambers as well. So, it's I got a lot of ways to contact me, but it's just sometimes it may take a little time to get.
Hey, look.
It's just so on.
Get ready to answer a whole lot of questions, man. After everybody see this one.
Hey, listen, I ain't mad. I appreciate it. I got questions I need to answer right now on this, so trust me.
Bet, man.
Quickly.
Hey, appreciate your time, man.
Not a problem, my brother. I appreciate you calling.
All right, now.
All right, talk to you.